What's good, my people? Back with another video, back with my match prediction and starting 11 for the Carabao Cup tie against Port Vale. I think it's the third round. It's obviously our first game in the Carabao Cup this season. Unlike some teams that are already out, that haven't got European games either, this is our first game in the Carabao Cup. And traditionally, back day, it was nice to see Arsenal field the younger, more inexperienced team, so we could get to see how some of the new youngsters and the new players would look if they were to come into the first team. And I'm still of that notion that I think that it'd be nice to see some of the youngsters in the team, some of the new players, or some of the players that just aren't fully fit, coming back from injury, or just, you know, and also to see some experienced players in there, just to keep it quite rounded, you know. So yeah, we're in Port Vale. It's very, very windy. We're up north. We're by Stoke-on-Trent, I believe. I've never been here in my life. It's a different kind of, I don't know if it's a town or city, to be fair, but a lot of the shops and everything's closed down. Everything I've seen is closed down, but the stadium is beautiful. I went in and spoke to someone. Beautiful stadium, really nice little club shop, nice little community inside. Sponsored by Puma as well. Kit's quite, I like their away kit, the blue one. It's quite nice. They're in League One, so they're playing against some of my local teams. They're playing against Luton. I'm obviously from Stevenage, so yeah, they're playing against some of my local teams. So hopefully we can beat them, and maybe even relegate. They can get relegated as well, because, you know, I don't want to see them playing against my local team. But anyway, let's start with my match prediction. Now, this is going to be an interesting one because I don't think we're going to come here and just absolutely annihilate a League One team. This is the Carabao Cup. We saw what happened last week with Nottingham Forest. We beat Forest 2-0. Forest are a good unit. I know they've now got Mr. Postecoglou, and things are going to change. Hopefully not for them too dramatically. But the issue we've got is that these guys are really going to be up for this game. To turn over Arsenal at home it will be amazing. Big bit of history for them. So my match prediction, I'm going for a 3-2 Arsenal. I think it's going to be a tight game. I don't think it's going to be as easy as we think it's going to be. Don't underestimate League One teams. We saw what happened with Man United. They're now out. We saw what happened with Nottingham Forest last week, with Swansea. They're now out the Carabao Cup as well. So this is going to be an interesting test, especially as we're not going to be playing our first team, as I'm predicting we're not going to be playing our first team, as it is the Carabao Cup. So this is my predicted 11 against Port Vale. We're going to start with Kepa in goal. I think that would make the most sense, really. David Raya could probably do with a break. He's got the Prem, the FA Cup, Champions League. You know, we've played a lot of games recently. We haven't played in the FA Cup yet, but a lot of Champions League games coming up. A lot of Premier League games, big games as well. So Kepa in goal would make sense. In defence, I like to see Ben White at right back. Haven't seen him feature for a while, so it'd be good to see him back in an Arsenal shirt, making an appearance. Left back, I'd like to see Miles Lewis-Skelly, as you know that Calafiori's now got that first team slot, it looks like, so it'd be good to see Skelly playing and make feature, and almost coming in as one of the more experienced players in the squad, even though he's very young, but technically he's still very experienced. And then centre backs, I think I'd still like to see Mosquera. I think I'd like to see Mosquera, because I don't know if Mosquera's been brought to play first team. He stepped in very well in the last 2 games instead of in place of Saliba, who's injured. So I'm gonna say that I want to see Mosquera play centre back, because I feel like where he's been in the first team, he can kind of show his experience. I know it's only 2 games, but he stepped in and done really well. So bring that experience and help the youngsters out in this game. And I want to make sure I'm not butchering this guy's name. Hinakapi. I don't know if I'm butchering his name or not, but it is what it is, blood. Yeah, him and Mascara centre backs. Then we're going to go in midfield. Norgard. I'd like to see Norgard start. I want to see. I mean, I know he was injured, but I feel like he did come on a sub the other night, so maybe he's fit enough to start against Port Vale. Very experienced player, Premiership proven. So yeah, it'd be very good to have in the centre midfield. Along with, I feel like, Wanyeri, because you know Wanyeri, I feel like he needs the minutes, so get Wanyeri starting. He's starting for the under-21s in England now. I think he deserves to start first team while Odegaard's out injured. But again, we've got such a good squad now, it's more of a rotation thing, so no one's really, I'm not saying no one's not guaranteed to start, but it's not a given you're going to be in the first team. Who else did I say in midfield? With Wanyeri, Mourinho. Just because I feel like we need to balance out with some experience in there, and have like people with a good head on their shoulders that can guide these youngsters. And just, if the game needs it, you know, bring everyone together and just make sure the game doesn't run away and we don't get dashed out the Carabao Cup in the first round. Not, well, our first round, but the third round. Because that would be embarrassing, especially to Port Vale, a League One team. So there's our midfield: Norgard, Wanyeri and Mourinho. Up top, I want to say on the right hand side, I want to see Max Dowman starting. I don't think it's even questionable, blood. I want to see Dowman starting. The only reason I wouldn't see Dowman starting is if Arteta plays Wanyeri on the right instead. But I'd like to see Dowman on the right. We saw what he did in pre-season. Very, very exciting. I think every Arsenal fan that's seen him play is dying to see him start in the team, in the first team, or feature at least as a sub. So to start against Port Vale, a League One team, I think it'll be a great experience for him to really stamp his name on not just this cup, but also stamp his name in the bigger picture, maybe get a goal or assist. And I think this is a great opportunity for him, and I think he's ready. So yeah, Max Dowman on the right. On the left, I would say Trossard. I don't believe we have any real youngsters that can play on the left. I mean, the left side's been a bit of an issue for us. So, I mean, he could start Martinelli, but I feel like Martinelli's kind of first team, really. I'd like to see Trossard there on the left. Just to shore things up, have the youth, but also a bit of experience in there. Just to make sure the game's not crazy. And then up top, I'd like to see Andre Harriman-Anus, youngster. Because I feel like with youngsters, he can always start. And if he's not having a great game or anything's going wrong, you know, we can bring on Gyökeres or bring on a Martinelli. We can bring on Declan Rice. We can make those changes. But I feel like these are the games where these guys can really shine and put their name on the map, not just for London, but for the world, you know. So it's a big occasion. It's a Carabao Cup. It's the third round. It's a cup we want to win. It's a cup we haven't won for a very, very, very long time. And I don't think that any Arsenal fan would turn a nose up at it right now. We're struggling to get any sort of silverware. I wouldn't say no to a Carabao Cup final and winning the Carabao Cup. I'm not saying it's the only cup I'd particularly want to win this season, but if I would be happy with the Carabao Cup. At the end of the day, you can only win what's in front of you. And I think the Carabao Cup, when the likes of United already out, and then you're going to be playing teams like Chelsea, Man City, you know, those are the teams that generally win this cup, and Liverpool as well, sorry. It's not an easy cup to win. Newcastle and obviously the holders, they beat us last year, so it's not easy. It's not an easy cup to win, but I would be happy if Arteta carries on Arsene Wenger's legacy of playing the youngsters, the new boys in this cup, give them a run out all the way. Yeah, and I know that might hurt a few fans. You know, we got to the semis, we should have played the first team so we could win. It's like, well, it's almost taking the credit away from the youngers. If they get to the semi-finals and, you know, let them play in the semi-final. You know, if they don't win it, it's a learning curve, man. It's an experience. I think that's what these games are about. So yeah, man, this is that's my starting 11. My prediction: 3-2 Arsenal. I think we're going to concede goals. The crowd's going to be behind these boys massively. It's a very big game for them. Arsenal Premier League pedigree in coming to League One. You know, it doesn't happen all the time. So this is an opportunity for them to really be up for it. And I think they'll get goals. They're not doing great in League One. I think they're like 4th or 5th from bottom. So they're not in the best of form, but I think they still won their last game. They haven't lost loads of games. Seasons are not long just started, so I mean, they're in a good league. They're in a very good league. So yeah, man, 3-2 Carabao Cup against Port Vale. See you guys in my match reaction. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share and subscribe.